So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This is Matthew Bailey alongside my critic and partner in crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hello.
And this is another episode of Beers, Beats, and Bailey. So, before we do our normal movie reviews, we have to do like a little pre-ramble.
Yeah.
So, last Wednesday, at the time of this recording, our country, TSFD, Trinidad and Tobago, turned 54 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's hoping that we actually get to see our own, not bicentennial, our own centennial. Yeah, just kind of hoping that I live long enough to see that as well, too.
That's real time. But
Yeah. I don't know if the show will be, will last by then. I doubt it.
highly unlikely.
Yeah, but whatever, we'll see. What else? We also, regretfully have to say that we lost, a pioneering comic actor by the name of Gene Wilder.
Yes.
You may be familiar with films such as Blazing Saddles, Willy Wonka, Young Frankenstein, Still Crazy, which starred Richard Pryor, who died some years back too.
Yeah.
So I also heard some news that I think Warner Brothers is supposed to be like screening Willy Wonka and Blazing Saddles for limited time only.
Yeah.
Theatrically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna do the same thing with Young Frankenstein. I'm not sure if that's a Warner Brothers film, but yeah.
Right.
What else?
What else? Oh, well, what else we had? Probably the end of one of my favorite mangas. I'll say it was originally one of my favorite mangas, and the creator of it shares the title of one of the movies we will be reviewing. That is Bleach.
Bleach actually came to that.
Yeah, the ending of Bleach, and the creator is called Kubo Taite. He shares the name of the titular character.
Yeah. Of
one of the movies we're doing this week.
So what next for that creator then? What is he going to be up to?
I have no idea, but there's the thing. Again, off mic, Matthew and I were kind of talking about the nature of the industry, and he's a perfect example of talent being snuffed out by the structure of the industry, because he was just pretty much from the beginning of the manga, and even before that, he was constantly harangued by editors and showrunners and people at the Weekly Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
And he pretty much just drowned out his manga and just run it into the ground, and it was a mixture of his fault, and he just couldn't work well with people. A creative mind that just couldn't work well, and that is what ended up happening.
Yeah, but what was the main reason? People just didn't have faith in his vision?
No.
Care,
that's pretty much it. He just can't work well with people. He didn't give him enough time. And to be a mangaka, well, that is the term for manga author. It's ridiculous, like how much free time you have, in terms of your story, and time you can't really take a break, you can't do anything. And yeah, he was just one of those that just kind of crumbled under the pressure. And in my opinion, he was a brilliant mind. Brilliant. In terms of his metaphors and storytelling. Bleach, I'll truly say that when Bleach was at its first two major arcs, those two first major arcs, especially the culmination of the second major arc, when you find this big twist, was really well done. To be a masterclass in storytelling.
And I actually enjoy the anime. I never really caught up on the manga.
Anime.
So
it was just
I enjoyed the show up to the point where it just relied a little too much on fillers, and I just got fed up.
Yeah, but it was one of the shows that just was. For me, when it was at its height, it was very good. That's pretty much that. What else we see? Yeah, on the holiday we saw two
movies that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
The latest thriller from director Fede Alvarez called Don't Breed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll share our thoughts on that in a little while. And also the latest animated movie from Laika Studios and Universal Studios called Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah.
And Ricardo got around to seeing a film starring Daniel Radcliffe. This is his latest post-Harry Potter movie called Imperium. I haven't seen it as yet, so I'm expecting to hear good things about it. And also, both of us on our own times, we managed to see a miniseries from HBO and BBC Worldwide called The Night Of.
Yes.
It runs for 8 episodes. The last episode actually aired the Sunday before the time of this recording here. So we watched all 8 episodes. I was thoroughly impressed by it. I'm not sure about Ricardo. I know he loves it a lot, we'll talk about that in a bit as well too. So let's start off with the show that I am not familiar with. I just heard some good things about it and a little familiar with the plot.
Right.
Imperium.
Right. So this is the latest starring Daniel Radcliffe and Toni Collette. I don't recognize any of the other actors in it except for the guy. He was one of the guys who was running part of the FBI. I remember he was Richard Alpert from Lost. I think he played that character. And you remember the mayor from The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Right. This is that actor. He was
that guy. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of Indian-y looking, kind of brownish, not sure, Greek maybe. Yeah, I don't really know what country from. This was solid movie.
Mm-hmm. What is it about?
Right, so what it's about is basically Daniel Radcliffe is an FBI agent, mostly a pencil pusher, very, very intelligent, not a field agent at all. So he's introduced his first field mission in the beginning of the story. He does well, just to solve a simple problem, and then he's essentially drafted in by Toni Collette, who thinks that domestic terrorism via white supremacism and white nationalism in the United States is actually a much more dangerous scenario.
Oh, so we have teams of racism and
So the whole thing is, so basically what he has to do is infiltrate neo-Nazi skinhead type group within, and basically be undercover for a good period of time to what she suspects is a terrorist plot.
Okay.
It's got a domestic terrorist plot on the same level as Timothy McVeigh, if you know who he was.
Yeah.
Right. And that's basically it. Here's the thing. In this movie, I thought, so Toni Collette was good.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Radcliffe was pretty damn good in this. I'll say in terms of script was solid. The cinematography and editing and all the technical stuff was just mediocre. I thought you meant like basic, basic.
what you see in a TV show.
Right. No, I won't say it's as bad. It's a movie. It's not. It's a to me Hollywood quality, production value, that kind of stuff. But it's still pretty standard in my opinion. Nothing blow me away.
Do you have an idea who released it? Because I'm thinking it's like one of those kind of limited releases, so maybe the budget wasn't that big, that large, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah. And here's the big problem. I'll say the weakest part of the film was some of the set pieces and the blocking, and the going through the scene. So I find all the other actors around Radcliffe was pretty weak compared to him.
Right.
And that's always happened when you have a big star actor and then a normal person who's supposed to be against him in a big scene. So the unknown guy just totally not bringing it. And
but still that's something I wouldn't want to see in a film like that.
But
I would want to see that everybody brings their
but I think all the unknown actors really don't bring it. They just kind of tired. Radcliffe is solid in terms of what his character should be.
Are they kind of cliche, those side characters?
A little bit. And
the skinheads, so they have to act and they have to swear. I imagine lots of swearing and stuff and racial epithets.
But the usual thing. But what they do good. All right, so here's what they do very good in the film. The writer clearly understands that taxonomy of white nationalism and white supremacism, and all the literature and the dialogue and the dialectic and how they think about the world. All the words and little terms you'll hear. All the little everything you get. So you hear terms like Zog and
Zog.
Right. Zog means Zionist organized government or Zionist originated government or something. Which is basically all of them. All of them is like, remember, they're very anti-Semitic and all of that stuff. Everything is about the system and they're being against, and we had to work against the multicultural races and all of this paranoia, which is very real stuff. And it's good timing for the film, especially the rise of people like Donald Trump.
And of course the Black Lives Matter.
Well, right, that's a kind of counter, right? But the whole racial arguments being at a heated point, and what the film does very well, it does a nice bait and switch in terms of what the story is.
Okay.
So you think is something, and then you think, but it's pretty standard thriller feel. Standard thriller.
It sounds like a slow burn. Like I'm not expecting a lot of shootouts. And
no. It only has a couple scenes that they try to keep intense and make it work for the most part, but it's still not that great. I still enjoyed it mostly because they understood the characterization of how these people think.
Right.
So you get into like three major groups of how they think, and then you realize why they are the way they are. It's because all the claims of supremacy and whatever it is, they're actually really not well organized at all. Very few of them are, and the ones who are organized.
How ironic.
And what they do well is they get into that paradigm of it's something you call the rebel versus the revolutionary. The rebel is the person who just make noise and they're constantly on the news and they're making all sort of old noise, but they don't really want anything to change because that's a role they set for themselves.
Yeah, it's personal for them. to be
that
anti-establishment.
But they don't want the establishment to change because that's their role, to be anti-establishment. If the establishment changes, they will no longer be anti-establishment.
All right, now I know the main question, and I think this is the reason why people watch the show. Unfortunately and unfortunately, Daniel Radcliffe. How was he?
Yeah, he was solid. He held the film. As I said, between him and Toni Collette, pretty good.
Yeah, and why I say unfortunately, I think the only reason why people will go and see it is if either they have a crush on Daniel Radcliffe, or if they just
totally
know that he's a great actor.
Yeah, and it's not a particularly subtle movie, but it doesn't try to be. It feels a little messagey, a little bit. Hey, white supremacists are evil. Let's remind you that white supremacists exist.
Can't we all just get along?
Right, and they do a good job with the story. It's a simple twist. You kind of see it coming, but they make it work. Mm-hmm. As I say, the big problems is just a lot of the set pieces and staging, scene staging and blocking just felt a little amateurish at time. And it's just a more the issue of just the actors. They just couldn't keep up with Radcliffe. You see that all the time. We have a normal forgettable actor, you don't know his name, and then you have the big star, and the big star just totally own it. You have to have a reason why the big star is the big star. He's genuinely talented. And that's it. I'll ultimately, a quick rating, I'll just give this, I'll give it a movie tone. Alright, a good movie tone, high movie tone. But it gets at it. I think it should show in movie tone. You should try to get a screening and run it. I have no problem going into the VIP and run and enjoy, and I'll get have a glass of wine and enjoy.
Yeah. I kind of see this hitting Netflix at some point in time. So when it does, I'll check it out. Yeah. I doubt I'll get to see it on the big screen. I don't think it'll come down to our country, unfortunately.
I saw
those type of shows, but
I saw a screening. So I got it had a screening here, relatively small with friends, and I was like, cool, good, proper screener we had, and cool, and so I give it a good score. I like it, not brilliant, very unpolished. I'll say very good, but very unpolished.
Okay.
So as you kind of run.
All right. Well, I will check it out just to see. Like I said before, I haven't seen any post Harry Potter movies with Daniel Radcliffe.
He did the one with the witch girl in the house, some haunted.
Oh, that was the one film that I saw, the Woman in Black. That was the one show. Yeah. But forgettable as it was, I kind of liked how they got that gothic atmosphere down. It was a very atmospheric movie. I like that. Yeah. Apart from that, everything else is just kind of bland and forgettable, unfortunately. But apart from that, I haven't seen any other films from him. Right. Not the biggest Daniel Radcliffe fan in the world, but I will give this one a watch.
Out of all the Harry Potter alumni, I knew he would have been the one to blow up. I always thought he was the most talented.
What about what's her face, Hermione? I forgot her name. No.
As an actress, no. She's not going to do anything great.
Yeah, I remember when she tried to be all edgy with This Is the End.
But that's just stupid.
But it was...
I don't know, I can't see her doing anything that particularly interesting or brilliant. Career.
In that movie, she was playing herself, so you can kind of get away with the kind of...
I don't think her career is done or anything, but it's just I can't see her being great. She alright, whatever, moving on.
And Ron...
he gone.
I can't remember. Was he was ever in any other shows?
Yeah, he did a couple of small movies, and then he's on a new TV show, I think a remake of a TV show. That's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang remake, I think. I think they're making a TV show or something like that. One of those British, really popular British kind of thing. I think he's doing that. Whatever. Okay. I did do research. IMDb it. Yeah. People, I do, check up that anymore.
All right. Now we're going to do a weird segue. So from big screen to the small screen, and we just mentioned England and stuff. We're going to talk about the 8-episode miniseries from HBO and BBC Worldwide called The Night Of. Yeah. And I have to mention the HBO and BBC Worldwide because, if you notice with HBO shows, they always have HBO original programming. This is one of the rare ones where you just see HBO.
The first baffling thing that was baffling to me when I saw executive producer James Gandolfini, and I was like, what? Well, I realized this was filmed a while back. So it was filmed clearly before he was dead. So the late great James Gandolfini was involved in this, and I think this pilot was filmed a long time, about 3 years, I think, since 2013 essentially.
Yeah, and I kind of think we'll get to the story in a bit.
Well, it had to be early 2013 because I remember seeing Man of Steel, and that night, I think it was the day before I saw Man of Steel, I saw James Gandolfini died on the news.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about the setting of the actual story, but we'll get to that in a bit. Right. If it has to do with the filming.
So first thing we need to talk about this miniseries is a complete apology for the Transformers film with John Turturro for me.
Yes, because John Turturro is back
excellent in
full force with this series.
His character is so well realized and well written.
A lot of detail into his personal life, all kind of things.
He had a great running side story with him, and it had a lot of great themes in this. Yeah. And it was relevant to
to his story.
To his right, to the main story.
At first, like, we'll get into the premise of it.
Right,
but at first, you're kind of thinking, well, what does this have to do with anything?
Right, and you realize it's a microcosm for
yeah.
whatever. Right,
Exactly.
They do that very well, especially that final shot, John.
Yes.
Really,
Great
really well
final
done.
shot.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this. Okay, so let's just talk about the story.
All right. So the story, once again, without revealing too much, centers around this college student named Nasir Khan.
Yeah.
He's of Pakistani descent,
Yeah,
but he was born. Yeah, but he was actually born in America.
Born and raised,
Born and raised in America. He lives in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
So it's in this area of Queens, which is predominantly Pakistani. So
he was in a little culture zone.
Yeah, so lots of Muslims live there. Yes, he is. I wouldn't say he's a devout Muslim, but his parents certainly are. They are very conservative with their religion and stuff.
Yeah.
And the story basically begins on this one particular night that takes place, I believe, is in October of 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually the one time we actually see that intertitle credit. October 25th, 2014, I believe, is the actual date.
Yeah.
So it starts off in the night. Well, sorry, it starts off in the day, actually, so we see it from daytime.
Yeah.
Where we see how he interacts with people in school. He's not that much of a popular person.
Yeah.
You know, he keeps to himself at times. He does have a few friends, and one of his friends actually, who is Muslim as well too, invites him to a party over in is it in Brooklyn? No, is it either Brooklyn or Manhattan? One of those boroughs. Right. So this one night he's trying to get to this party. His friend kind of stands him up. Yeah. Unfortunately, so he kind of steals his dad's cab. Yeah. His dad is a taxi driver. Yeah. Him and his two friends actually share this one particular cab, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's a whole thing in taxi sharing, and they get into the whole idea of holding the medal.
Yeah,
this medal thing. Yeah.
Right. So one thing leads to the other, and this girl named Andrea jumps inside the car. So she of course assumes that he's a taxi driver, and he's kind of playing along with it because he's attracted by her, you know. No, I wouldn't say love at first sight, but there's attraction. Yeah. And then he kind of takes her to her place. They, hang out and stuff. They do drugs. They do ecstasy, ketamine, and stuff like that. They make out. They have sex. And then a couple hours later, he wakes up in her kitchen. Yeah. He goes upstairs and he sees her body bloody, severely mutilated. Yeah. 22 stab wounds all over the body, and of course he flips out. I'm not gonna say what happens after that, but the police get a hold of him. He has what they believe is a murder weapon, which is a kitchen knife in his pocket, his jacket pocket.
Yeah, all I don't say because it's just the pacing of this.
Yeah, and of course, everyone assumes that he did the crime. He's arrested. He goes to Rikers. He runs into a bunch of criminals, one of which being our friend Michael Kenneth Williams, who played the incomparable Omar Little from The Wire. Yeah, and there's also another character, Bodhi. Well, sorry, his name is not Bodhi in the Night Of, but he played the hustler Bodhi from one of my favorite characters as well too. Yeah. He always does that side spit thing every time he moves out. Yeah. Every time he kind of enters or exits a scene, he always tends to do that. Right. And John Turturro plays this this lawyer. Yeah, he's a private lawyer, but he's private lawyer. He's kind of critique. No, at first you're thinking he's the public defender. He's not. Yeah, no, he's the guy kind of come into.
But he's a bit of an ambulance chaser. Yeah, a little bit. He's a small lawyer, not very talented. Can't really deal with big cases.
And it's just really his relation to Nasir and this whole situation with his crime.
Kind of a bum, kind of sad. But it's a great, really well realized character.
Yes. Well, let's jump into the actual review.
Right. So here's the thing. All right. So when I watched this, I was immediately reminded of a story. So there's a very, very popular podcast known as Serial. You're familiar with this podcast? Serial.
S-E-R-I.
Yeah, serial, serial killer.
Right.
And what it does is it basically focuses on a lot of crimes. It's an excellent podcast. One of my favorites. Although I don't follow it that much because I'm not that interested in serial killers all that much.
I wouldn't think there would be a podcast about that.
But I wait about, and it's a great podcast. It does a lot of crime stuff. And what it did an episode on a fella called Adnan Saeed back in 1999 on the murder of Heyman Lee. Right? Very similar story. Similar ordeal. Freely man.
Well, now I'm wondering if it's based in part on that story.
Right, it's strongly based on that. I just recommend Serial, and that's what I remember because I was watching the story. I was like, two things. I was watching the story and I was totally reminded of that. And then secondly, when I was watching the scene when this is the big opening scene when he finds out the girl is murdered. We said he killed, and he said he killed dead, and he had to escape and back and forth. I was totally having deja vu about this. Like, I swear I watched this before. And then when people tell me it came out in 2013, I was like, did they show this on HBO in 2013? I swear I watched this before. And whatever.
Okay, but it doesn't have to do with that on-air pilot. I think there was
that is
one
what thing came out.
Yeah.
I swear I saw something like that, where it was James Gandolfini was involved. It was a hype thing.
Yeah, and I actually know it's supposed to be based on a British TV series. I believe it's from BBC called Criminal Justice.
Right.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like an American adaptation of that show.
And it's very, very similar to that ordeal with Adnan Saeed. This guy, Islamic guy. He can't go in prison. He kind of had to get hard. And this kind of chicken and egg kind of scenario where he gets sent in this situation and now he had to get hard and you can look more like a criminal.
Exactly, yeah.
And they do a good job. Here's these several things: atmosphere. Usually when we see New York, you get New York as a big bustling town. How busy New York is. Busy. In this, everything just feels real empty, empty solitude. And it's just shot so well in that way. It's like, geez, everything does. Like, you get the feeling that you're alone.
Yeah, and you actually get that in the opening sequence, which I will actually rate as one of the best opening sequences from an HBO series ever. I'd put this along the same line as both openings for season 1 and 2 of True Detective. It has that similar feel to it. Where one picture seems to be like really heightened and you're seeing like depth and stuff. And in those shots, as you mentioned, solitude and loneliness. You don't see anything. You might just see like a cat, walk along a road, or just like a newspaper or something like that. Or you might see like some headlights from a taxi or whatever.
But
taxi. Other than that, it's just silent. There's silence and emptiness.
Yeah, and they do that good. And then you get a good feel for the kind of cold Byzantine banality of the justice system. It's namely the New York City Police Department.
Yeah, especially like the interiors, lots of like cool color palettes used.
The NYPD just feels so distant and cool. Everything is just methodical. Do this, get this done.
Especially in the opening episode, it's like, we don't know what to do. Go over by this precinct. They'll help you out.
Yeah, like, jeez.
Fuck it, we don't know what to do. Just take a number and wait or whatever.
Yeah.
It just feels so. It's a shame though. It's the NYPD job.
Yeah, everything just dehumanized, and it was. I thought they did that really well.
Yeah. Same thing with Rikers, where we didn't mention about Rikers. Just how those prison scenes were done.
Yeah. And they do a good job with the prison scenes, the prison life in this, because everything is again still. Everything kind of lonely.
What I like is that even with Rikers and the justice system, everything is all about rules and just how particular things are done.
Yeah.
So one thing that they do with John Turturro's character, and we're gonna get into that in a bit. He always has to go through this metal detector, and it's always the same thing. Okay, lift up your arms, and he's used to that.
And it's that part of the story that works in the characterization, because everything is a slog. That is what is weighed down. It's the small things. It's just chipping away at you. So you want to get this big thing done, and you had to solve this big crime, and your brain had to do blah blah blah. But there's all these little small things that's chipping away at you that is messing you up. Now in the case of John Turturro,
and you also see this with a character. Well, I'll just kind of bring him up one time. Dennis Box. He's a detective who kind of gets involved. He's played by Bill Camp.
Yeah.
He also goes through that same thing where he has to go through the night of the actual murder. He's going back and forth trying to figure out everything, and he is like he's a retiree. He actually retires later on in the series, and he's still kind of trying to focus on this thing, still trying to figure it out. So he has to go back and play it over and over and over, and you see that same sort of monotony.
They do a good job with the again is the banality of evil. Everything is just weighing you down, and you can see why people don't make all these little moral mistakes in terms of decision making. A judge could just be having a bad day, and that is it for you. You could just get extras at a time, and that's what I like about John Turturro's character. John Turturro's character is like he lived through the shit. He makes one really, really like damn cynical, but sorry to say it happens, which is the truth is not going to help you at a certain point.
Exactly. He tells Nasser that the first time they even meet each other.
It's about the narrative, and but in the end of the day, they ultimately believed in Nasser's innocence, and that's what made it work in terms of the themes. All of them believed in that. Nasser never believed in that. The way how they do it, they make it unclear. But it's done really well in that way.
Yeah. We also have to mention this character by the name of Chandra Kapoor. I felt that she was one of the most complex characters in the film.
Only thing, she as a character was going good, and everything in the series was going good except for one part.
For me it was two decisions that she did. Two things that she did that threw me off.
Yeah, but it had two parts in the movie that was like just kind of dumb. And it's like, that kind of stripping.
Yeah, but you kind of wonder why she do it, because they kind of hint that she has this infatuation for Nasir, but you know it's something deeper than that.
What they do with it later is I thought was very clever, because that kind of catch me off guard.
Right.
And is a part with a CD.
Yes, that's what we will say about that.
And I thought that was really, really clever, and it was a small little thing, but it was good.
Yeah, and what I like too is, well, I wouldn't call it a particular theme, but a motif that, you know, like God's eye, that somebody's looking at you. So, you know, from the night of those events that led to the murder, you see a few camera shots. And what I like as well too is that there are other characters involved in this murder, like case in point, Bodhi's character. I keep forgetting that guy's name, but glad to see he's still doing work, glad to see he's still getting that HBO money. Well done. Yeah, he actually ran into Nasir and Andrea before they went into Andrea's house. And he also picked up on camera as well too, and then he kind of tries to deny, it's like, well, I wasn't involved, I didn't do anything. And then also too, when he's brought in for questioning, when he's being interrogated by Dennis, he's being filmed as well too. And I like how Dennis was asking him questions. I was like, well, dude, you know the answer, so why I must tell you this? But then, of course, it's because they could pick it up. And then, of course, when the court trial actually starts, which is around roughly episode 6 or 7, those same recorded footage are used, you know, as evidence.
Yeah, and they do a good job of just the nature of the law. They have some classic lines. They get into class and race a little bit.
Of course, yeah.
Especially with reference to 9/11 and Nas and what he had to go through as a kid.
Yeah, him being a Muslim, you know, people don't trust Muslims and stuff.
They start off Nas as very nice and sweet, but then they start painting a picture, and it's like, wait, if Nas really do this, and because, you know, the lawyer, and it have a whole thing with that.
Yeah, and you see that a lot. You see that specifically when he goes to jail. You know, him being in this world, he has to adapt into this world. He doesn't want to, but he has no choice. It's either, you know, kill or be killed, basically. And well, I'll mention this. Michael Kenneth Williams' character, his name is Freddie Knight.
He's a former boxer.
Former boxer, but he's like this very respected prisoner. You know, he's one of those people that you don't fuck with at all. So, you know, he kind of sees some potential. He sees innocence in him, so he takes him on his wing through some circumstances. It's kind of like, all right, well, he learns a lot about the prison system as well too, and he's just trying to survive. You know, this day-to-day thing while this case is going on. And I like how, you know, he goes into court and he's trying to be this one way. He has to dress a certain way. He can't show off his tattoos and stuff. I like the fact that he has this tattoo on his fingers, his knuckles, Sinbad. So like sin on one hand, bad on the other hand. So, you know, you know, sin and bad, come on, you know. And, you know, he's trying to hide that when he's in court, but then when he goes back into jail, it's like, you know, back into jail.
When they first mentioned and they said you wanted Sinbad or
Aladdin.
And I was thinking, what they're talking about the characters, like, all right, I can get what it
is. That was a clever
little play.
Little
play on that. That guy, cool.
Also in the jail as well too, well, there are a couple other side characters actually, but they're actually famous rappers. We saw Sticky Fingers, that's his stage name, guys. You may remember from the influential hardcore hip hop group from the East Coast, Onyx. He plays one of the prisoners. Also Tretch from the New Jersey rap group Naughty by Nature. Kid Zack's parents. He plays a prisoner in well, both of them actually appear in one episode. And I believe Lord Jamar from the influential group Brand Nubian. Although for the life of me I was trying to pick up on which character he was. I actually thought that he was the I actually thought that he was the guy, the guard behind the commissary. I was thinking it was him. It was looking like him, but maybe I'm not too sure, but he looks familiar. At first I thought he was the black guy from House of Cards, who plays the president's aide, but I was like, no, he looks a little older. So I was thinking maybe he's Lord Jamar. So I had to do some homework on that. But anyway.
It was, for me, I just enjoyed this.
A couple other characters I liked as well too, at least the way how they were presented. Nasir's parents.
They were good.
What I liked is that, and I don't want to, this is me not trying to play off of like racial conventions, but I like that all through the case they acted quite rational. They weren't screaming and crying like, oh no, our son is arrested, no, and you know, carrying on and stuff. They were quiet, they were observing things, they weren't really trying to figure out what was going on, but they just watched everything unfold. and you saw how that case itself affected them, especially in terms of their employment.
But, exactly. But because it was really heartbreaking in the sense of even if he's innocent and he get off, it's just the mere stigma it.
Early on in the series, there was some hate crimes as well too against Muslim taxi drivers. That was real unfortunate. Yeah. But I just like that, and you can imagine. And I don't want to play off of like cliches. If it was an African American family being involved here, you'd had the mother who was screaming and
we don't know.
I liked how they did.
Right? No, they do, but they do the whole idea of just being affected by just the mere stigma of the trial itself. I mean, that was it. I mean, that's how they created. It had this one really sad part with the delivery.
Oh yeah.
That catch me off guard. I was like, oh shit, that real dark dude. That catch me off guard. They did a good job with the story, and then when they have a big thing with the thing, and then they started to do extra investigations, and that was pretty good. That was awesome.
Yeah,
one of my favorite. And then what I like about it again to the class part, they have some genuinely good lines in this. So one of my funniest lines is if you want Jew time, you have to do a Jew crime.
Oh yes, I remember that. That was awesome. I think that was in episode 1.
Early, I think it's episode 1 or episode 2, one of those.
Well, let's just talk a little bit more about Totoro's character, because he is the star, and you're kind of wondering, why exactly? Even though the case is not about him,
right?
But let me hear your thoughts on it.
No, right. So his character is
John Stone. That's his name. We forgot to mention.
So here why this character work, and this going off the top of my head because I didn't see it for a while. I watched the last episode just the other day.
Well, me too actually. I watched all 7, and then I watched the last one last night.
I'll say his character is. I don't know what to call his character. He's kind of like the Job of the story, in the sense that he stayed loyal to morality, but all this bullshit happened to him throughout his life. He clearly over the hill as a man, right? He real weak and kind of crappy, not particularly attractive.
Yeah, and I think he have an ex-wife or ex-African American wife.
Yeah, he has this eczema problem throughout the series, which is a big side plot, which is hilarious and it works in the story.
Yeah, he have eczema on his feet, and he's always like scratching his feet and stuff.
He has allergy to cats, but at the same time. There's a thing with a cat. There's a big side story, and it's relevant to the story, which is doing a thing to help another entity, but it'll
damage you slowly.
Right. Yes.
And also, back to the whole eczema thing. I like the banter between him and his doctor. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, really well done. Yeah.
And the doctor is just being so blatant with it.
Clever,
the Viagra shipment is here now.
Yeah,
you want me to put you down for a prescription? Just shout it out loud.
Everything was fun. Everything was just tearing this man ego down. And in all these little small ways. So okay.
Yeah, you can tell this guy he just looking at him and you just pathetic. Fuck you up.
You're all sad.
Or maybe John at some point in time did the same thing to him. So it's kind of
here's the thing that confused man. I thought they didn't seem to go anywhere with. And this is not a spoiler because they didn't go anywhere with it, which is the black prostitute that he was with. She died.
Yeah. He defended her at some point in time, and then they had sex, and then they just kind of
then he couldn't get it up with one, and then
that's why he went for the Viagra.
But wait, she died?
No, they
what's that black girl in the ground who got killed? That was another. They just
I think that was somebody else.
Okay,
they never hint at her afterwards.
I find it looked just like her.
Yeah, because if they did, then you would have heard John talk about it throughout the rest of the series, but he didn't.
You didn't mention, but you just see some. But I don't like what I was about. I didn't follow why was she? What was the point of just showing her dead body? Like, just a next case, just so.
Yeah,
I couldn't follow. I just couldn't follow that. I didn't get why, and that's the only thing I couldn't really follow in that. But overall, I strongly recommend this.
Well, we could just get to a rating one time. I will give this a light 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Reason being, I wanted to give it a strong, but I felt that there were moments that I won't say a drag, but this is a very what you call a slow burn type of show. So you have to go in, with your eyes open, your brain intact. You're not gonna expect like a lot of violent scenes or a lot of action stuff. I know a lot of people expect that from an HBO series, but it's not like that. It's really seeing how this case unfolds from the moment it happens, from the moment the murder takes place, to the outcome of the trial.
Yeah.
So you just see how everything kind of plays out. You have to kind of be on board. You have to really be invested in what's going on.
Yeah.
If these kind of slow dramas aren't your thing, then you're not really gonna get much out of it. But for me, I got great cast, great acting. Didn't expect much from Nasir Khan. Well, Riz Ahmed, that's the actor's name, but he turned in a great performance as well too. And I really bought into the fact that how his character changed throughout this show. I thought he was gonna be all innocent and the victim and all of this, but he had to shed a new leaf. He he had to become different. He had to become hard to adjust to what's going on. And, it's not easy.
Yeah.
And I bought into that. John Turturro steals it for me. Michael Kenneth Williams didn't disappoint this time. I mean, he never disappoints, actually. Even when he was in Ghostbusters, he did disappoint for me.
Yeah.
I thought the cast was fantastic. I love the music as well, too.
Yeah.
Music was spot on. Like I said, the opening sequence, one of the best you'll ever see from HBO in a long while. And yeah, light 4 for me.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ricardo?
Yeah, very high score. I'll give it a, basically the equivalent of a IMAX, full price. Just
Nice.
Yeah, just make sure you see it. Get a chance to see it. I totally recommend it. One of the big highlights. I'll say, it kind of reminds me of a fictitious version of the O.J. Simpson kind of trial, similar. All right. Yeah. So.
All right. So moving from the courtroom into not exactly a room, but more of a house.
Yeah.
A house that you wish you didn't get inside in the first place.
Yeah.
You just want to get out, but oh gosh. Just the torture to get out is another thing. So yes, we're talking about Don't Breathe. I believe this is the second film from director Fede Alvarez, who I believe turned in a really great showing with his remake of Evil Dead back in 2013. I think it came out. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it kind of harkened back to that, grit. I don't want to call it gritty, but that really visceral, bloody approach that Sam Raimi, who was the producer of that show and this one here, approached his classic 1981 film, The Evil Dead.
Yeah. So this was but this was like the kind of the 70s film thriller, in my opinion. How it's another harken back in a sense.
Yeah,
it's
to me
very
it
gimmicky.
felt like the exploitation, that genre.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very gimmicky. This movie is really silly.
It is. When you really sit down and think about
damn
it,
entertaining, Dread. Damn funny, damn entertaining. Didn't expect to enjoy it so much. I knew what I was going into. So it's not like it was like, this big surprise. I was expecting a serious movie. But it's just how everything was done, Dread, and really, really funny. And what they do good is that they set up the world really well. Set up the space. Make it that why it works. They teach you how the house is.
Yeah.
They structure the house, how it flows, where what is, certain things, how to tell the story. And then Stephen Lang in this was so funny and so well done.
You were laughing at him.
Yeah, I was cracking up the entire time how this man was operating. So we'll just get into
we'll just get to
what the story is.
The gist of about it. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. Right. So the premise goes like this: we have 3 Detroit delinquents, if you will. Rocky, played by Jean Levy.
Yeah.
She also appeared in the Evil Dead remake that Alvarez did.
Yeah.
Dylan Minnette, who plays Alex, and Daniel Zovato, who plays Money.
Yeah.
So these 3 delinquents, their MO basically is breaking inside people's homes, stealing a whole bunch of shit that they could, sell.
Yeah.
And breaking out before the cops even arrive.
Yeah.
So the advantage that they have is that Alex, who's played by Dylan Minnette, his father actually works at a security company. Yeah. Yeah, so he has access to a number of codes around for the houses in the areas.
Security machines,
Right. So they come up with this plan. Well, actually, Money, played by Daniel Zovato, comes up with a plan. He notices this one particular house. It's owned by this Vietnam War vet, played by Stephen Lang.
Yeah, Golfo.
Yeah. And he just so happens to be blind, so I like that.
It's caused by him being the former vet,
Yeah, it's an incident that took place in the war, and it resulted in him losing his eyesight. So basically, he's just there with his cartoonishly ferocious dog. Yeah, we'll get to that dog in a bit.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so these 3 idiots decide, well, you know what? I mean, easy pickings, man. Man, blind, we could just break inside, disable the code. Disable the security alarms. Get what we have to get and break out, man. I mean, he ain't gonna see us, so easy, right? Except it's not, because by the time they break inside, they realize that Stephen Lang is a cool-hearted motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's basically Jason Voorhees mixed with evil Daredevil.
Yes, I was thinking Stick from Daredevil.
Exactly.
Scott Glenn's character. Yeah. And now it's just this race. I wouldn't really call it a race against time. It's just about these characters just basically trying to get out because he knows that they're there. So he's not willing to break bones and make these characters bleed. Yeah. Because he doesn't want them to leave the house at all.
Yeah.
So
they're in trouble.
How do these characters get out of this situation?
Yeah. And then shenanigans ensues.
And in case you're wondering where the title comes from, there's a moment where well, just a slight little spoiler. You actually see it in the trailer where the lights are off and the blind man, well, that's what he's called, could basically hear them breathing. So there's a moment where the characters have to hold their breath.
Yeah.
And yes, there are moments, well, unless you really, really genuinely get freaked out by these type of thrillers, you will be like, holding your breath, kind of wondering what's going to happen next.
No, but okay, so for me, because the premise was so ridiculous,
simple, but
it's so ridiculous
dumb.
and over the top. I just couldn't help but just like laugh at this the entire time. Like I couldn't take it
No,
seriously.
I know you. When you watch horrors, you tend to laugh. I could just be like,
no, but that shit
I
was
don't laugh.
hilarious.
I'm trying not to.
Okay, so I think so they don't. Here's the bad parts. I thought his powers,
his heightened sense.
Yeah, it was a bit inconsistent. I noticed it was a bit inconsistent. I thought like the sound editing could have addressed this, because here's the thing: this movie, because it is inconsistent, it undermined the character a little bit. So that didn't make any sense. And then I hated his character turn coming down to the end when they explain what he does and why he's doing it. And I was like,
well, but did you feel that he should have had a little bit more mystery, or just
right? I thought they could have made that a little more vague, like with what the twist is. They could have leave it there and then don't tell you what it was, like why he wanted to do it.
Right.
Like, they need to sell that out. Just have it where he just stuck. They have a big thing with a character and you see what they do. And I find they could have leave that a little more vague. But what they do with it? But here's the thing. It's one of those cases where the flaw kind of applies to the film's credit, because everything was so ridiculous and over the top. That carried it to a next level of silliness, so that worked. So that's why I didn't really mind it so much. But I preferred it if they kept it unclear and a little more vague.
Right. Well, that particular twist, well, I know a lot of like critics and viewers were like divided by it. Some people kind of bought it. They're like, oh, well, that's kind of creepy and
weird
and
and
fucked
creepy,
up. But at the same time, it's like,
it worked.
What? Yeah, it worked. But some people are just like, what does have to do with the story? I just don't buy into it.
Right. I find it just heightened the ridiculousness to the next level.
I just thought it worked into the creepy factor.
Right.
In terms of
because the movie was so over the top, to bring that in, especially that like the close up shot of, well, don't want to spoil it.
Oh yeah. I don't talk about it.
And just that was funny as hell, and it just totally like
I think that was like one particular moment where I laughed.
Right.
Well, that and I'll get to.
And when they revealed what it was, like, hey, let's serious with this. This is so hilarious and so ridiculous. And it really worked. A second thing, so to me, this movie needs to be nominated for song mixing and song editing.
Yes,
Holy
yes,
crap.
the way how they use sound.
Again, every creak, every groan of the house, every piece of foley just fit with the narrative. And as I said, if they dialed that back in certain scenes, it would have worked better. Because everything was noise and everything is like, every little piece of glass they mash, every little piece of this, little piece of the house get hit, knock. Hearing it loud, and it just exaggerated.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, right, it totally fit to the role, because it's like, it's Daredevil, they're doing the Daredevil stuff.
Yeah, and it kind of makes the house part of the film,
right,
not just
exactly.
the actual setting.
The house is the extra
like
character.
a character, if you will.
Another really funny part is the dog in the car.
Yes, that's the second thing I want to mention. That dog is so cartoonishly ferocious and wild and crazy.
Yeah.
Like once it sees its target, it just goes in and doesn't stop.
Yeah.
There's this one particular moment where a character is in a car and this dog is trying at all.
That was funny as well.
Anything possible just to get inside. It's just so crazy, so ridiculous.
Dog just stayed there. And
this dog just constantly drooling.
Yeah,
it's like, it's just. But I like that dog. That dog is hilarious.
It played with its space very well. And what I'll say is that the filmmakers really knew what they were doing in terms of getting where the camera was moving. Where the camera was, with the location. You didn't think about that. You didn't think about it as like, oh, where's the camera exactly? They make it movie and then they tell something. So the character, the camera dip under the bed. You see this thing, little Chekhov's gun, or Chekhov's gun. So this,
right.
They spoil this. They bring in all of that, and they just tell the story and set up all these things, and then they bring it in later and totally work.
But on the subject of that, what you mentioned about the crew knowing what they were doing, Fede Alvarez.
Yeah.
This is the director, guys, that you have to keep your eyes on, because I would say this guy really knows his shit when it comes to horror.
Yeah.
I saw that with the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
With his Evil Dead remake where.
But when I saw executive producer Sam Raimi, I was like, all right, no surprise, no shit.
Yeah,
no shit, because it totally falls within that paradigm. I don't know it was a Sam Raimi project, but when I heard Evil Dead, I was like, all right, Sam Raimi had to be involved with this, and then it's those horrors that you could laugh at, like God, Drag Me to Hell, and. Films like
Evil Dead 2,
which
is one of my favorite movies.
Evil Dead franchise, just all of that Sam Raimi stuff, and it's like, that's basically it.
Yeah,
They do that so well. There's
Exactly.
really entertaining, silly horror films that don't take itself seriously. Just do a good job of just entertaining you.
Yeah, well, good as you mentioned that too, because you could tell that Fede, whoever, sorry, I said Fede, loves these types of films. These films that really give you that visceral horror experience.
Yeah.
It's not like the slow building horror movies, like say The Shining, where the horror slowly builds.
No,
this is like when the horror actually happens.
That's the thing. You don't get the sense that it's meant to truly scare you. I mean, unless you're like, you have an IQ under 70 or something.
Yeah.
Like, at no point you're supposed to be truly scared by this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really just silliness.
Yeah, and also too,
More like a parody of horror almost.
Yeah, and also too, it's not psychological horror.
No.
Which it's not like something that can make you question
No.
your own morality or
Not
sanity.
about
This is like, okay, when people bleed, it's how much do they bleed? When
Right.
people suffer, how much do they suffer?
Yeah.
It's going back to that 70s exploitation.
Yeah, it's very
genre.
exploitative. Yeah, very
like
exploitative,
films like Last House on the Left, which was directed by the late great Wes Craven, who died his anniversary of his death was about a year ago, actually.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. And it was literally those horror films of the 70s that inspired Sam Raimi to make his own film back in 1981 with his friends. Producer who still works with him up to today, Robert Tappert. Yeah. That's how The Evil Dead came out. So basically. So this guy, Fede, you could tell that he was hugely inspired by Evil Dead in particular. The idea of characters being inside his house, trying to get out, and then they just going through one terrifying ordeal after the next.
Because the main characters weren't that interesting. They were just
well, I was about to mention,
they're just there to drive the plot from set piece to set piece.
Yeah, I would give credit where credit is due. I like that you got like maybe a couple of minutes of backstory.
Yeah,
you got an idea where each character comes from.
They set up the world really relatively quickly. Yeah. They do a good job with that.
But the point is, you're not supposed to really care about that. I think that's the reason why I wasn't too scared by it. But then I was thinking about it a little bit more. I was watching. I realized, well, not really so much a horror that is a thriller, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there are horrific elements. Yeah. I mean, right down to Stephen Lang's presence. But at the same time, this is not a horror. It's just a bite your nails thriller.
Yeah.
And in that effect, I thought it would. It's just that maybe if I cared about the characters a little bit more, I would have been more concerned about whether they were going to get out alive or not. But for me, I was just watching this and like, okay, how are you going to get out of this one? Right. All right, he got you here. Oh, man, he fell down. He broke his back. Oh, she broke a leg. That's sad, whatever. They don't really care that much,
I was cracking up with all of that, man. Like, I thought this one part of that glass pane, oh my gosh.
You laughed at that?
I cracked me up, Jim, because the way how they do
it. I was waiting for it to happen. It's like, oh shit,
the way how they do it, and then you forget, and then is, again, the Foley, there's this sound that's like, oh, you just hear it, and you hear it louder, and it's like, all right, well, you know he heard that, and then they turn around.
As he gets up.
Yeah, one time, and then he just reach. It's like, that was so funny.
Yeah.
That cracked me up, Jordan.
There were a few jump scares that were really effective as well, too.
The jump scares was more humorous for me than anything. It's just how it was done. Right? Okay, so when she thought she get away for the with the car part, and then he pop up.
Yes.
Like,
no, but I know that was gonna happen.
Yeah,
you know that it was coming a mile away.
Yeah.
You know somehow he was gonna get from there to where she is.
Right.
Implausible, but
it wasn't far-fetched because, like, all right, he have daredevil powers. The dog
so you just had to hear the dog bark.
Dog making that noise, right? And he just follow from that. And then the last scene I like in the movie, where I don't want to spoil it, but he decided he says nothing was stolen.
Yeah,
I love that. That was funny to me.
How news kind of spin that, but when you hear it, guys, you'll understand.
I really like this movie.
Me too.
Had a lot of fun with it. It's very silly. Its rules was inconsistent. Little inconsistent, but it largely worked to the film's credit. It's fine.
Yeah. Stephen Lang killed it.
Yeah, he was awesome in this.
I remember in one particular review for it, Jeremy Johns' review on YouTube, he said that he pictures him being the Cable.
Right, everybody.
And just seeing his build, seeing his look and everything. You can't help but take that.
Since Deadpool ended, everybody's saying to push him for Cable, and he was pushing. He himself was on Instagram saying, "Yeah, I want to be Cable. I don't think you'll get through, frankly. I don't know. But
why not? Well, who else you can think
of? I don't know. I wanted to be Cable, frankly, but
man of the white hair already.
Everything. You think we just see, but everybody's saying they had somebody else in mind, so they'll go. I don't know. Whatever. Point is, this was enjoyable. Yeah. Really a lot of fun. But ultimately, it has its flaws really breaking down because of how silly and ridiculous it is. But I don't know. It's just a damn fun ride.
Yeah, and it's also short as well too. It runs
it just gets
90 minutes, so it just moves really.
Yeah, it gets to the point really quickly, and that's what holds it up quite well. If they stretched out a little more, it'll be a problem.
Yeah, if they try to do a Shining
too much,
then it would have been too much.
Yeah, I get this one a high movie town. It's really because of that just that fun factor. I would just enjoy myself cracking up.
Yeah. I would say though it's one of those films you have to go with your friends to go and see.
Just jump in, enjoy yourself, and that's it. Yeah.
Don't take yourself too seriously. Yes, there are moments that will make you cringe. There are moments where you'll be like,
right, I was laughing, Judd. And at some point I was just
that.
cracking me up, Judd. I was like, are you serious with this? Like, wow, well done.
But I like that they didn't run with it.
It didn't take itself too seriously.
Show it.
They just balanced that really well, and they made it work. It's a good rating for me.
All right, well, for me, I give this a decent 3.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah. Worth checking out.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest horror in the world. Or I still don't see it as a horror. I still see it as a thriller. Nothing more, nothing less. But you're gonna have fun with this one, especially if you like those 70s exploitation grindhouse kind of thrillers and horror movies.
Yeah.
You're gonna have fun with this one. Don't come out of it don't go into it expecting psychological scares, but just expect the blood, expect the pain and the torture.
Yeah.
And a lot of crazy shit in between there, like a rabid dog.
Yeah.
Not a rabid dog, but that's the way how he moves, was just snapping and drooling.
What cracked me up is
what
cracked me up is that they planned for the dog and they planned till fail. After it's like and the plan was in such a way where it's like that was much worse though.
Yeah.
Like you should have do this with the whatever.
Yeah.
But to the film's credit, because the characters being idiots made perfect sense them being idiots too. Because it's like it's true white kids in Detroit anyway. So like if they're robbing houses, I think none of them could be intelligent. None of them could be particularly smart.
That's an insult to Detroit people to come on.
No, that's what it was. It's like street dumbass white children, Detroit basically.
It's like this is your last option.
Yeah,
this is your option to make cash, right?
Right, really? That's it. Yeah, they reached that point now. So it makes perfect sense why. Exactly. It makes perfect sense why children would be kind of dumb anyway. This is the kind of plan they would do. So everything again, it subverts and plays with the tropes in that way really well. But as I said, I find the only thing I would say if it's anything there's a genuine flaw is that Stephen Lang's Daredevil powers is a little inconsistent. Right, that is more
1 minute it's real heightened, but at the same time something could happen and weaken him. That particular moment, I won't spoil it, but it kind of happens. You're like,
that was
why?
No, but it had a part in the beginning, early part of the film, and I was like, why he didn't pick him up right there, very early? And I was like, oh really? You didn't see that? I'll hear that. All right, whatever.
I mean, it's not like super sense of hearing, however, but sometimes you kind of makes it think the movie makes it think it's kind of like that though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially the moments where they dark and stuff.
It felt inconsistent, but that's why I say. I suppose somebody could defend it and tell it, no, it have a reason why. But I just didn't pick it up.
And one thing I'll just end it off here. They might, some horror purists might say, well, that this adds to horror. You're not supposed to know how the antagonists or the
that's the thing.
The creature's supposed to move.
But that's the thing.
It's supposed to be unpredictable now, but at the same time, it's a human being. So,
exactly. Yeah. No, but it's just the consistency. But even if it's a creature, it's still supposed to be consistent. That's my thing with sense data and that thing now in your story. Sorry to say it, sense data is not something that don't change just so. It's something that had to be relatively consistent. You hear roughly the same all the time. You see things roughly the same all the time. So to sell that argument of that is a random thing is I find that's a bit of a stretch, frankly. But that's it. I really enjoyed this movie.
Definitely check it out, guys.
Totally,
Go with your friends. Have fun.
Really well done.
And breathe while you watch your show, man. Don't hold your breath at those particular moments. Come on,
this was a
choking on yourself.
This was a popcorn muncher for me. I just cracking up and just enjoying it, Jude.
So once again, Fede Alvarez, great job. I just can't wait to see what other films he come up with.
I'd love to see him do some more stuff with this. So, I'd love to see more from him.
Right now, he's along the lines of people like James Wan and
I put him in that level of category.
Yeah. Those people who really love horror but able to
again,
familiar tropes and make them different.
In his case, he does it where it's this tongue-in-cheek approach to everything. All right,
and finally, we jump into Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yes.
As we mentioned before, it's the latest film from the studio, from the animation studio Laika. They've been responsible for films such as Coraline, which I saw and enjoyed. Boxtrolls, I missed it, unfortunately.
And then the movie that should have won the Oscar instead of Brave, Paranorman.
Yes. I haven't seen Paranorman, but I've heard a lot of great things. Great things about that.
Freaking awesome. See, that is your part of the problem, Matthew. Go watch the movies.
Dude, there was a lot of shit the other year, and you believe it or not, I saw Brave. I just watched Brave. I remember when Brave won, because I was actually rooting for something else. When Brave won, I was stunned. I was like, wait, how the fuck Brave could win? So I watched Brave the Monday of the awards. I'm like, how does shit win?
Yeah,
how?
Mediocre.
Why?
Easily one of the most mediocre Pixar movies, in my opinion.
My mom turned into a bear. Wow.
Yeah, they didn't go anywhere with that. And then the villain, whatever. I ain't gonna complain about Brave.
Yeah. It's also distributed by Universal Studios and Focus Features, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it's directed by Travis Knight, who,
yes. No, okay.
believe it or not, I didn't even know that until I watched the Double Toast review. Actually, was a rapper.
Right. No, here's the thing with him. I'm on the fence about him. Shows like this, here's the thing. On the one end, Hollywood is cater to a particular type because whatever's make profit. The classic art versus commerce, dialectic, right?
Of course, yeah.
How can you make something truly creative? If it don't make money, then it had to get shaft. So in the case of him, his movies are very highly subsidized. How do we know this? His dad apparently is the head of Nike, so he's just getting this $1 billion stipend to make what he wants in his own creative way and his own creative freedom. But if he was part of the industry as normal, he would have flushed out long time.
Right.
Yeah, the movies would have come. He'd have get one chance, probably Coraline, and that would have been it. He would have never been admitted. He would have never gotten a fourth film. But at the same time, industry just cater to things that you would never get these movies in the first place. So it's the trade-off. And to me, I don't really mind seeing movies like that. I don't really mind that relationship now where you basically have a fallback. That's this $1 billion fallback essentially, But at the same time, you have the freedom to make what you want. Total creative freedom. You have basically fuck you money.
Yeah.
And that I mean, so I can't be mad at him because he's a person who he is very privileged, but at least he's using his privilege to do something interesting. And he has a chance. It's not like he's doing it and then making crap. Because these movies, none of those movies are crap. All four of these movies are excellent, well made, well created, and he really kind of added to
and very creative. The writing.
To me, he totally added to the cultural capital of the world, even though he's not making real world capital.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
But I wonder. However, well, just to cut it a bit, I wonder if it's the craft of it, just the way of it's done. Because
exactly.
Stop motion is not.
No. But that's what I'm trying to say is that if he had to actually sing for his supper, again his career would have never gotten out of the ground. So there's a no skin in the game kind of attitude. He doesn't really have skin in the game in that sense. So it's just his pure pride as an artist, but he's backed up by a lot of money. Let's admit that.
Okay.
So that's it's a kind of weird dichotomy. And what I have a big problem with is that I have way too many creators out there who have that same privilege, backed up with a lot of money. They silver spoon in their mouth, grow up with that, and then they just do crap with it. Utter mediocrity. They're just wasting everybody's time.
Any examples come to mind? Or?
Boy, that was a good few.
I wish I had an example or at least something to...
There were a couple, but you don't know. You don't pick it up until it's too late. But I'll say a couple actors, a couple, you had to do research. And it's one of those kind of call out in the industry because people they do a couple good things. And, I really feeling bad right now. I do have examples off the top of my head. But here's the thing. I just think these products are really treasures.
Yeah.
They're real damn treasures. They really worked. All of them, all four of his movies work. And with this Kubo, he hit it out of the park again with this one. Right. This one is really good. Really enjoyed it.
Want to get into your story? Or,
yeah.
Or?
You talk about it.
Right. Okay, so once again, I really trying this time not to spoil anything about it.
No.
So the story is set in ancient Japan. We are introduced to the character of Kubo, this young kid. Yeah. He's voiced by Art Parkinson, who you may remember as one of the star kids from Game of Thrones.
Right.
Yeah. So he lives on this on this fishing island.
Yeah.
And for a second there, I was looking at the locale and I was thinking, wait, is this Okinawa or something? I think so.
Basically.
Yeah, basically. One of those islands.
It had this very generic, but it doesn't really appeal to any particular Japanese law or Asian law at all, but it just does this generic Asian law. So you get the feeling that it's very Asian American. Kind of like Jackie Chan Adventures or... it had a lot of Asian American stuff. Like, what was the name of that show with the boy who was the dragon that was in Disney? Shit. Something, he's a red dragon or something like that, or Kung Fu Shaolin Showdown, shows like that.
Oh yeah, we remember this.
You get that same feeling that it's just this generic Asian law, and then all the actors and voice actors in this was a bunch of Asian American actors that you know and love. You hear George Takei somewhere there. You know that's George Takei. You know.
There was this guy who played Shang Tsung, Kari Teriyuki
Tagawa, right?
I didn't even know it was him until the very end. I actually confused his voice with George Takei, believe it or not.
No, I knew it was George Takei because it had a scene where he said, oh my. You did the oh my. And I was like, oh, George Takei. Like a nice little point out one time. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll talk about the actors, the voice actors, and the controversy around that in a bit.
Right.
Right. So Kubo lives with his ill mother. Her name is Sariatu, I believe her name is. Yeah, she's voiced by Charlize Theron, and they actually showed like what happened to his mother before he was born, and you know, just the grief that she had to live with.
Yeah, that
you know.
was some good emotion.
Yeah.
Because they kind of get into the idea of how, you're raising a mentally ill parent.
Exactly, yeah.
You have to
kind of bipolar. Because they know at most times she's very silent, she's very forlorn and sad.
Yeah,
but then every once in a while she might pick back up and be a little happy, hug her son, tell him a story and
then she forgets the story and it have a whole memory thing with that. And they get into that whole memory. Memory and forgetting the past. And
right. So on the subject of story, Kubo, this is the one thing about the film that I know, I actually liked about it, but I know a lot of people kind of divided by, is the fact that his magical powers. He actually has magical powers, him and his mom. Right. So in his case, he has this shamisen, which has 3 strings, but I'm not going to say why the movie is called Kubo, only 2 strings. You have to watch the film and really figure it out.
Right.
So he is able to tell these stories, and he has these origami
paper machine. Origami.
So every time he plays it and he tells a story, he usually goes into the fishing village and talks to the people about it. He talks about these grand stories about a brave samurai and all that kind of stuff. So while he's playing the music, these origami pages turn into characters and act out and stuff like that.
And that's by far the most entertaining part of the movie for me, which was him telling the story and you getting him telling a story within the story.
This is right.
And then, we see he never finishes the story.
Yeah, he never gets around to it, but reason being is because, all I can tell you right now basically is that his mom always warns him never to be out after dark. So as soon as sun sets, you have to be back home.
And they explain that.
Of course, him being the boy, being a boy and being the protagonist in this film, of course, he does not do what his mom does. He breaks it. And then, I'm not going to say why or how, but he does that. And then
evil comes from.
Yeah, evil comes from.
Yeah, no, that's all that the stories explained. Here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. This movie is one of those. What's the name of the Kintsugi? I think it's Kintsugi. Is when you damage something. Things that operate by damage is looked more beautiful. That's a Japanese concept. Kintsugi or Kintsugi.
Alright, we'll have to Google that one.
It's when you damage a pot and then you mend back the pot with gold, so it's look more beautiful and through the cracks.
Okay.
But the idea is that it operates through its flaws, and its flaws strengthen the film in a sense.
Yeah, so it's fractured, but
it
works because it's
right.
It's
and here's what it does very well. It's more about emotion and imagery over logic. If you want to get into the logic of the film and make the logic work, it doesn't really work that well. Kubo's powers is very arbitrary, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I didn't really appreciate that, but it just fits the narrative. Also, everything is about emotion, and you don't know how something gets to one point to the other, but for emotional reasons it really works. So there's an ending scene with the grandfather and the rest of the village saying something about the grandfather and explaining something to the grandfather.
Yeah.
And that I thought was really beautiful. Mm-hmm. That was great. But it didn't follow or make any sense in the story. It's like, wait, how we do this exactly? Why did this happen? Why did that was the end result of this action?
Yeah.
You didn't really get it. Whatever. And then the actual narrative itself, from point to point, when they do big reveals about certain characters, that didn't really flow really well. But here's the strength of the film. This is how I saw the film. It really felt like an 8-year-old boy was telling the story. That's what it felt like. So it's like, if you think about it like that, that's how I see it. That's my kind of personal 2 cents. And I don't think it'll be a particularly unique original opinion, but that's what it felt. So it again, from an emotional imagery standpoint, it's really amazing. But when you actually start to sit down and start to pick apart the logic, you realize it really hold up that really well. But it's to the film's credit, because Kubo is like I don't know how old Kubo is, but he seemed like around 8 years old, 10 years old.
I'd imagine he's about that age.
Right.
Roughly.
You get a feeling that because Kubo is the star and that's the thing, you get that kind of meta-narrative to it. So I think that's my kind of defense of the film in that sense. That's how I feel about it. So that's why it works, and the way I call flaws can be easily spun into strengths.
Yeah, I understand.
Right, if you understand where I'm trying to come from. I know it is a kind of free association kind of interpretation, but that's how I kind of saw that's what I saw from the movie now. And that all these, like, again, general Asian wisdom kind of scenarios now.
Of course, the Zen quotes and stuff.
And all of this stuff, and this character, and then the character is represented by a monkey. And I don't know if it was written by an Asian, but I doubt it was. It just feels like a white guy interpretation of
I think it was like that, just like Avatar, for example.
Right, or I should say, as I said, Asian American culture, which is a weird reinterpretation of Asian culture, because it's everybody if you know the history of Chinatown and why Chinatown exists in the United States. It's basically Disneyland of Asian culture, and it's intentionally done like that. Okay, so me being kind of pretentious, there's an episode of one of my favorite podcasts, another podcast, shout out, of a podcast called 99% Invisible. And
you listen to a lot of podcasts. You need to link me to some of these.
Right, no, yeah.
I only listen to like movie-related podcasts.
But what this podcast focuses on is mostly design and like architecture and design stuff and how design works. And this episode focuses on the Chinatown's history. That episode about Chinatown. So all you have to do is just type in 99% Invisible in Google Chinatown or Chinese culture or something like that. And I think it has to do with the Red Lanterns or something like that. I forget what it was. But basically it was getting into the history of why Chinatown existed, fires in San Francisco. San Francisco's, America's racial history. Racial history with the Asians, especially with respect to World War II and internment camps and all of that history and all of that baggage. And yeah, they get into that and you get that legacy going on now.
Right.
With this, and it's this generic kind of Asian culture that you're not sure what it is, but it's a hodgepodge. But American Asians who live here, it don't really matter anymore because they don't live in Asia anymore. In whatever Asian country they come from, various Asian countries, China, Vietnam, whatever, it's just this general thing. It's like, is this Japanese kind of? Is this right? Is it Chinese? Was it no?
So it's a kind of interpretation or kind of watering down of what they what they think.
And I could totally imagine some political view will be like, well, this is just disparaging or condescending towards Asian culture. It's not a proper representation. I could totally see somebody criticizing the movie for that. But for me, it worked as a gaijin Westerner who don't understand outside Asian culture anyway, and who only watch anime and that's all I know. I can't speak Japanese or even try. I just need to watch subs. It totally worked for me. This was really, really well done. As I said, if you have a sticker for logic, then it'll be a problem for you. And I'm one of those, but I learned to let that go for this film, and it worked. Once you let that, when you don't fight on the logic stuff, it worked. Animation-wise, a lot of scenes and things was kind of perfunctory. Again, that's because of the logic issues. You get the feeling that they did a lot of interpretation stuff. And they decided to do animation sequences and then put it in the film and stitch together the narrative kind of, I won't say after the fact, but it felt like, paint by numbers in a way. They were kind of going, along kind of by the seat of their pants in some ways, at least with the narrative. Because a lot of this stuff, again, because of the logic stuff, it didn't really feel that well thought out from a logical standpoint.
All right.
But they got the story beats and the themes really well. And yeah, that is why it didn't. I'll admit it didn't appeal to me in any strong way, but I think I got it. That's my interpretation of the film and what I think about it.
All right.
Yeah. Tangent.
My thoughts on Kubo and the Two Strings. First of all, I loved this show.
Yeah.
LOVED, capital, bold, italic letters. Loved this show. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I went into this movie completely blind. Right. No, I didn't watch any trailer for this. I don't know why. It just kind of just
No, I saw one.
Flew past me. I don't know why. I just didn't get around to seeing it. Right. And because we now got this movie. So
it took a while.
I know in the States and thing. It was there like about 2 weeks already. Yeah. But we down here finally got it, right? Yeah. So I just decided instead of watching the trailer and being
just quick shout out to South. It had a really good screening. Like a lot of people came out for this.
Well, same thing with me.
I was so glad to see that.
It was the cinema was packed when I went in.
So, and I heard because
a lot of families were there.
Because I heard the movie wasn't doing so good in terms of box office.
Really?
It could hopefully make back the money for the rest of the summer. Whatever the last set of summer days it have left.
Yeah, I know Doing Breeders like number 1 right now on the box office. I believe so.
Right.
But
Kubo, but sometimes you get one of those shows where, sometimes you get shows that will stay, so never make number 1, but it'll stay at number 2 pretty long.
Yeah.
So I get a feeling that Kubo will be like that show. It's like, it'll get word of mouth, and people will be like, okay, it won't have the big come out, like a big blockbuster film. But people will just come out and...
Yeah, there'll always be somebody who will go and check it out, or at least people that will go and check it out. Right, okay. So back to what I was saying. So yes, I went in completely blind. I just knew about a character or two. I didn't know what the story was going to lead into, and what caught me from the word go from the moment the story begins. And there's a particularly heartbreaking moment that takes place in the very beginning of the film too. But it all, and then how it kind of leads into something a little happy afterwards, which is what I love, is how they touch on the theme of death.
Yep.
Or just the concept of death, knowing that something could happen to your loved ones and, you know, they could die, but, you know, it's how do you move on from that? But in this case, using Japanese culture, is the whole idea of paying respect to the dead, talking or at least communicating to the dead. How can you hold on to this person's life, or in this case, all they do in terms of memories.
Just memory. And again, they get into that whole memories are powerful thing, and what you remember, even if it's not the truth, because that's a big part of the movie.
Right, exactly. So, you know, all the things that you've done in your life, and this is something I always believe in. You know, it's not so much your status, whatever, it's really what you do with your life that really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, you know, and in this case with this movie, it's not so much just the things that you've done, all the brave or noble or nice things that you've done, but really telling that story or telling these stories to other people, you know, making sure that your legacy, your name does not die. It just keeps going on and on. And this film, I felt touched on that quite beautifully, you know.
Yeah.
I loved the characters as well too. Kubo was fantastic. I love these, I wouldn't call them side characters, but I love the
voice acting,
the monkey.
All the technical stuff was well done. I'd say, voice acting was solid all across the board. Charlize Theron was good. Matthew McConaughey was good.
All right, yeah. But what I liked about Charlize Theron's character is how stoic, and a little cynical at times she came off with. She kind of told Kubo as it is, you know, life isn't all sunshine and roses and whatnot. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. I like how she kind of, you know, approached that role. I love that. Matthew McConaughey, which, believe it or not, I didn't even know it was him until I kind of listened to it carefully, and then I saw the end credits, like, just to make sure it's him.
I picked up the voice. I was like, that's Matthew McConaughey. Something like him. I love that twangy kind of way about him.
I love the acting that he did for his performance, for his character of the Beetle, actually. I thought they brought that much a sense of humor. And great. Speaking of humor, what I thought was really bold for this movie here was that, you know, usually for like shows from DreamWorks, animated films from DreamWorks, or what else? Pixar. You know, you always have to you come up with the emotional moments first, but then as soon as the story starts to settle, you have to hit one joke after the next. You have to hit or one crazy character after the next. No, this one was just okay. I had this old woman who was just kind of reminiscing and stuff, and I thought it was nice. You laugh at how nice it was, but it wasn't really relying so much on humor as opposed to just setting up the tone of the story. That's how the characters interact with each other. It's not about one pop culture reference or one joke after the next. It's just telling your story and not pausing to tell a joke because we need that in the trailer and that will make people come and, you know, buy tickets and all that kind of stuff. It's not about that. It's just telling the story. What else? The music was fantastic.
All the tech stuff was great.
I love how they brought in the sort of an Eastern influence, like Japanese music, the shamisen, of course, interwoven into the music. What else? The animation.
This is the strength of the film because it's a while. Look, we haven't seen
one of the most gorgeous animated movies I've ever seen.
Some of the best stop motion, like the stop motion. You didn't think it was stop motion most of the time. A couple of times they had it little.
There were a couple of moments where the characters would move and you see a couple of frames and you'd be like, it looks stop motion there.
Look a little choppy, but
other than that, it looks so fluid, so natural. I love the backgrounds. Even like the skies. Like there's one particular scene where you saw a sunset.
They get some cool stuff like the water. Like
yes.
This looking excellent.
And just the way how the water moved. I mean, it's not natural, but the way how it moved in terms of the world, it worked.
Much like with box trolls. Remember box trolls at the end? Okay, so box trolls.
I haven't seen box trolls, dude, because I missed that train, unfortunately.
Box trolls. All right, so box trolls has a really awesome, like absolutely brilliant post-credit sequence in it, and they do a stop motion. They do a time lapse of the animators.
All right, now did you see the post credit for this one? They did that same thing.
They did the same thing, but I'll say Box Trolls one was much more clever because they actually do a little narrative, a little piece of dialogue with it, and I thought that was much more clever. This one is pretty badass because they do this. For one, I understand it's one of the most ambitious stop motion projects they did ever.
What they show is this particular antagonist. I think it's like the biggest puppet ever.
It's like 16 feet or something like that. Something ridiculous like that. I was like, oh jeez.
And I was just in awe when I saw that. I was like,
that's like any future animator totally inspired by that. It's like they inspire a whole generation of future animators right there.
And on the subject of that, you could tell that the creators behind the show put a lot of time and care, effort and love into this. You could tell that they were really passionate about this project. They put their all into it, and you could see it, and you know you just can't help but be amazed by this.
That's in my opinion some kind of superhuman level of patience. Like like when you think about stop motion for a second, how absurd the process is.
Yeah.
And the foundational techniques hasn't changed over time. You know, the new machines. It's not like with editing, where editing fundamentally changed to digital. No,
Yeah.
that shit is still hands, still manual labor basically. Still blood and sweat in the classical sense. It's like, jeez, boy. To get out in 2016 is just like kind of mind blowing, frankly.
Yeah.
And just for that,
that remind me of like Robot Chicken. Like I wonder if Seth know watch his show and be like, okay, for season 8 or whatever, alright, we gotta step up. We gotta step up.
I do like a Kubo parody.
Yeah,
I really like this movie. I really appreciated that it exists.
Yeah. Well, there's a few things I want to mention. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just a few things I want to mention. Like I say, how they touch on themes of death. They don't shy away from particular things. I like that they didn't really sort of water down the story and make it consumable for kids. Like, you know, not. And yes, there are moments. Well, I will say this one time. There are a few moments that I know will kind of scare the pants out of the kids.
Yeah.
But I like that they were just so brave and they just went along with it. It's like, yeah,
They
they didn't
talk to
soften or tone down anything because you have kids there. And on the subject of that, when I saw it, roughly within the first hour or so, you were hearing people laughing and stuff, especially kids. They were like, ha, 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 that's so cute. But you see, near the end, like the last half hour, total silence. And I was amazed by that.
Right.
Just to keep the audience's attention, because that is the moment where things get even more emotional, even more tense.
Yeah.
And just keeping that audience just riveted from then. And then, of course, right down to the very end, which I'd admit struck me very sharply.
Yeah,
nice. I teared up. I will confess,
powerful,
I teared up in the end. That was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie by a long shot. Yes, the logical things come into play.
As I said, I accepted the logical leaps because it really felt like this is what a young child telling a story would make those logical leaps.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you're following a little child telling you a story. So
right.
You don't have to be this perfect, world building. Oh, everything make perfect sense kind of thing. No,
and
it just worked from an emotional imagery standpoint. Is that
exactly
he just describing something cool, and he describing something really visceral, and that is all you need.
Yeah, he's telling a story to an audience, to us, basically.
And you don't need to break his spirit by saying, well, how can we get from here to here? And kind of nitpicky, kind of pedantry. No, you don't need to get into that.
No, here's the thing. I can accept all that because I kind of see that like a fable, like a folk tale. More like a folk tale.
Exactly. You don't have to be perfect logic.
You don't have to access. I mean, you could stop and ask, well, wait, how this shaman is so powerful?
Right, exactly.
Where he get these powers from? Did he inherit it from somebody in blah? No. Just accept it as a folk tale and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But, if you want to nitpick it and, fine. Yeah. That's up to you as a viewer.
Yeah,
you do that if you want.
I'm the kind of guy that, I kind of come from that generation where everything was all about this kind of hard logic and not accepting just these little jumps.
Because it come off as lazy, right? Or
a little
incoherent.
Just not incoherent, but just lack conscientiousness. And I kind of come from that generation. But now
I respect that. That's fine.
Yeah, but now we kind of coming out of that again. And, we don't have to respect that as much, in my opinion.
I mean, I would be surprised in the next 5-10 years, people look back at Kubo was such a great movie. Those flaws, those flaws. Let's talk about those flaws,
Yeah, exactly. Man. And I don't really fight that on. I mean, and I used to fight it on, and I don't know, you kind of get soft in your old age in that way because it's like you stop caring about them nitpicky things now. I'll imagine just 5 years ago, I'd be like, oh, well, I'd fight that on as a critic now. Not really. Don't have to do that.
But not really so much about the logic behind the story, but just like the characters themselves. Just the way how they're treated. Like sometimes they're there and you're thinking that they're supposed to serve this particular function, or the reason why they are there are going to be revealed in due time.
Yeah.
And sometimes they are, and sometimes not so much, or at least not in the way that you expect.
Yeah.
And you see that in particular with Monkeys and Beatles characters, you're kind of thinking, okay, this leading up to something, and then kind of halfway they tell you what it is, and like,
no, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It
could have set that up a little better at least.
Exactly. No, but that's what I'm trying to tell you is that it does fall short in that way, but I don't fight it on as much. And it's not me giving the movie leeway because again, because of that meta narrative that I've given.
Yeah.
No, that's me. And
also the emotional thing, because how they reveal that was emotional, and I thought it would.
Yeah, I thought it would. And as I said, it's me being very charitable towards the film, because I could be uncharitable and say, oh well, F them. They didn't think this out very well, but I just got that's what they tried to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be just reading into it and they didn't intend this at all. But I just get it. I just saw that. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
I just saw that meta text in the approach. I was like, it's a little child telling the story.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's what I got from it.
What else?
One thing I was thinking about when the more I think about this movie, it's a bizarro Zelda movie.
Yeah, a lot of people compare
Guys,
the
I
show
was
to
thinking of-
Zelda.
so,
like,
okay.
well, you want to mention why
Right.
Zelda?
So Zelda is a Japanese creator telling about a archetypically Western character.
Yeah.
Link looks Western. There's nothing Japanese about Link. He
Yellow
doesn't-
hair,
Right,
blue
he
eyes.
looks Western. He has Western, clothes. This kind of, this kind of European medieval look to everything.
Yeah, he's
Castles
not a knight, but he's like
Right, but everything is Europe.
not squire.
It
but,
looks like European law.
Yeah.
But it's a Japanese person telling that. But this is the opposite. Now you have a Western guy telling about something looking aesthetically Japanese.
Yeah, and
Right,
it feels like it too.
That's
yeah.
what I said. So
Like it has American.
So Zelda, right? So the Legend of Zelda is a Japanese person telling about Western law or something that should be aesthetically Western. Green fields and everything looking like.
Yeah, that's how
Europe.
English. That's how England looks.
Yeah, the European countryside or something like that, and all the characters and villains and everything looking like a knight, and that's a European knight and his sword and very European medieval look.
Yeah,
and
so in this case, when the movie is like,
but from a Japanese person.
yeah, snowy mountains and
This now, right, exactly. This now it looks like it's a Western guy putting out a Japanese, something that looks, aesthetically Asian, essentially. At least
Right.
what we call stereotypically Asian, and you hear the music and all of that stuff. And yeah, you got that from that. That's what it felt like. It felt like a bizarro Zelda movie.
Yeah.
And as I said, now they could pull off a Zelda movie. It's like,
I don't
there's the
see
template.
why
There's the
they
template.
haven't, but
yeah, there's the template. No, but this is the template for a Zelda movie now. Like, we could do this.
But don't do it stop motion, please. Do it in CG.
No,
please,
yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that we have the template for a Zelda movie. We know what it could look like. Personally, if a Zelda movie to come out, it needs to look like Wind Waker, which is one of my favorite, if not my personal favorite Zelda game. That's the one where everything is looking weird and cartoonish and
not the cell shaded one.
yeah, that one. And
Right.
the clouds looking poofy and weird. And
The Ocarina of Time was like everyone's
But I think
favorite
that's what everybody
Zelda
calls, that's
game.
what everybody calls the masterpiece, which I don't really fully agree with, but that's a different debate.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, what else? Well, I didn't mention about voice acting. Well, yeah,
I mean,
I kind of
we
mentioned
talk
before
about
great
it.
acting.
I think everything was just solid. It wasn't like brilliant or anything. It was solid. I think
Yeah.
this
but
girl
the
was
one,
pretty
but
good.
the one person I did not expect was Ralph Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes,
Ray Fiennes, to
was-
play the Moon King.
He is
That
pretty
caught
cool.
me completely off
I
guard.
was listening to the voice and I was like, who is that boy? And I was like, oh, that's someone like Ray Fiennes. Is that?
I didn't
was
even know it was him
thinking-
until the
I was
very end
thinking-
when I saw the
thinking
credits.
Jeremy.
Not Jeremy Irons. No.
Jeremy Irons. I was thinking Jeremy for 2 seconds. I was like, is Jeremy Irons? No, but it's not.
No, I was actually thinking it was an Asian American guy who was doing
Okay.
that.
But when I saw the credits, I was like, oh, Ray Fiennes, cool.
Yeah. And on the subject of that,
Rooney
I know,
Mara.
right, Rooney Mara, who
Yeah, pretty
plays
good. Twins, two of them,
the twin aunts.
Yeah.
I thought they were serviceable villains. 'Cause I know a lot of people are like, well, you didn't give them enough backstory and blah, 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 blah,
that's
blah.
fine,
But I love their look. I loved how they talk.
If anybody needs to get, well, we kind of spoil him, but if anybody needs to get more backstory, if anything, would be to me the Moon King, like what he was about. And again,
He just kind of came and did this
Right.
thing, but it's like,
right,
yeah.
And they could give him a slightly, well, they can explain the motivation, but again, the logic issues.
Right. And I'll just kind of finish up with the whole controversy thing because, the controversy being that, a lot of American actors were cast in the lead roles, and why not Asian Americans if it's set in Japan?
Right.
Why?
That's a whole thing. That's a
But
debate.
the argument, of course, is like, if you were to pick like, Ming Na Wen, if you remember from
Right.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., would a person want to go and see an animated film voiced by her?
Well,
No,
yeah, we did.
Charlize Theron.
No, but we did see a movie. It wasn't. Was
What,
it,
Final Fantasy,
was
Spirits
it,
Within?
Was the voice of Mulan? Wasn't it?
I think, it was her.
Yeah, Man One. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, but Eddie Murphy was there though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why people went to see the show.
Look, the quote-unquote cultural appropriation argument is something that I do think about. Like, I can't answer that. In my opinion, I suppose I could put in my own 2 cents about it. But to me, it's just in the end of the day, you had to make a movie that makes money. And I totally would have still choose these popular actors. It's the same thing with Doctor Strange. It's how that big issue.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ghost in the Shell. That issue is like, no, sorry, the industry is the way it is.
Unless the franchise itself or the
Right.
subject itself is willing to sell itself,
Right.
then fine.
I can't see it, so I can't see that being sorted out anyway because it'll just be people just giving a subjective opinion and not getting anywhere. It's just,
Like case in point, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Right.
People don't care if it's
No,
Tom
but
Holland
that's
or
a different-
Zendaya playing
No, but that's a different,
Mary Jane.
that's a
It's
different kind of
because-
argument because it's not a cultural thing. Spider-Man is
Okay.
Spider-Man, and like to me, Zendaya. Well, they showed this one picture with the girl looking like a redhead, and to me, she looking more like Mary Jane than the last one. Anyway.
Yeah, I find Shikasa. She's cute, but anyway.
Right, but what I'm trying to say that we saw her with because she's not particularly dark, and then B, I saw her in a picture with red hair. and they show this picture of, and it's like, oh, this is the Mary Jane. It's like, yeah, she looking like Mary Jane. That looking fine.
Yeah.
Fine. She don't have to be a ginger. She just have to be a chick with red hair. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have an issue with it. I was like, all right, cool, moving on. Yeah, I don't think you'll have a clear, particular answer to this. And right now, at least, we're not going to get a particularly clear answer how to sort that out.
No, I think it would be a big issue if one of those films actually flops. Like, say, Ghost in the Shell comes out and God forbid it does flop.
No, but it won't flop for those reasons. That is my attitude. It won't flop for the reasons you think, like, oh, you made this decision I didn't like, but it
no, what I mean, like, what if the cast happened to suck, or like the main lead, well, God forbid if Scarlett Johansson suck in that show. Then you could say, oh, well, you know, if you cast this person instead, then it would have been better, maybe.
I don't know. It had a suck, but see, that's the thing with movies, is that movies have such a, you know, it have this, you see the problem with movies and why movies fail is have this causation, correlation problem, where, yes, there's an objective reason why the movie failed.
Right.
But there's no way to tell that. You know, that's the problem, is that it have so many factors.
Right, I understand what I mean, because it could be the script that he was given.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
not just the acting or the person.
in some cases, they could say, all right, this movie definitely failed because of this. But other times, it's
like
like
an Adam Sandler movie.
Well, right. But it have a multitude of factors that could correlate in such a way that you don't know, and you don't know how things play out, and it's just impossible to tell now.
Understand, yeah.
Sorry to say it. And sometimes it's just, you'll only figure it out like way after, you know, several years after the movie come out, then you figure out, oh, this is why the movie failed, and it's because this fella, you know, had trouble on set, and you did that. And that's a backstory thing that you'll never find out at the time.
Yeah.
Right? It's only in today's world where you have a DC, and for some reason, people are just making a big set of noise over the DC films. But you know, DC films, this is the first time we find all this shit in like within a matter of months, or within a matter of weeks in some cases, like with the Ghostbusters. Like you immediately figure out why the script was a mess, and you figure out why this was the case, and why it had this political shenanigans and back and forth. Yeah. I don't know. Well,
I don't know, but the point is, for me, I was impressed by the cast. I love the voice actors. I thought they brought the A game into this.
Right.
So I had no complaints. I had no problems with it.
That's fine.
I mean, I would say we could have gotten a little bit more Asian American actors into it, but that's just my little nitpick. But on that, it didn't prevent me from enjoying the film.
For me, I can't make a good opinion of it because I don't have enough information. In my opinion, I can't really make a good opinion of it. People will put out their own emotion and the answer, and I don't think they have a particularly good informed opinion over that. So that's it.
And honestly, I don't think it's a reason why you shouldn't go and see a show. Oh well, you cast white actors to play this. Oh, I'm not gonna watch that. You know, it's not the Last Airbender again, guys. You don't have to worry about
right. In the case of the Last Airbender, that's a little extreme. I find I was a little carrying it too far. It's like, no, you could have sit down and make it work. Exactly. And I think here's the thing. But if the movie worked, then what you would say is white privilege and white. Like you could keep blaming no matter what. No.
True.
That's the problem. Anybody and their mother could keep spinning the narrative for or against yourself. Now. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't waste my time as a filmmaker. The goal should be, don't try to make everybody happy.
They can't make everybody happy anyway.
Don't waste your time doing that.
There will be people who just be annoyed by the fact that you made a movie based off of this.
Your bottom goal should be make money. Second thing, have some sense of cultural
respect
for yourself. And just have a natural sense of artistic respect. And you're good. And I think Kubo did all three. Just it had to make some money. I hope it make the money it does.
I hope so too. But I mean, it's going to get a heap of critical praise.
Exactly.
I am rooting for this right now to win Academy Award for Best
I feel it might, it might.
I mean, and
like it was knocking on the door for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, Pixar this year, come with some good stuff. With Pixar was kind of.
I mean, Dory for what it was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fun and entertaining. It was what it was, but it could have been way better if it came out a couple of years after Nemo.
Yeah,
it might have worked.
Yeah,
instead of Cars or Brave.
So
but anyway,
I find Pixar this year was normal, and I find if Dory wins,
although they had a fantastic short film.
No, Piper is amazing. Piper is just god tier amazing. That was just so well done.
That has to win.
That had the best animated short.
Best animated short. My God.
That had to win. But as a best feature, Kubo need to win it this year. That would be real crap if it
just for the ambition, just for the sheer scale of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to read this one time?
Yes, I'm going to give this a low IMAX.
All right,
low IMAX. Only because of my opinion of me being a stickler for the logic.
At least you said IMAX, right? I wouldn't knock it down.
I'll be the stickler for the logic, and that kind of pulled down the movie. But if they could have just, for me, if they could have somehow pull off sharpening up the script a little better and making things flow, it would have got a real damn high score for me. Like I'm next to perfect score.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me, I don't want to jump on any particular bandwagon, but it's kind of weird to describe though. You know, it have like those great, like especially like from guys like Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Where you have things where you have movies like say, My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
and you may really have a feeling in your heart for that, you really love that show because of how whimsical and fun it was. But if you compare that to something like Princess Mononoke, which I still think is the best Miyazaki movie ever,
For me,
you might say, well, yeah, Totoro is pale in comparison, you know. But to me, you love animated films for different reasons. The way how they make you feel, or when you go back to it, how do you feel, or especially with the story. And for this one with Kubo, I see myself going back to this over and over and over. This one really hit me in the feels. It did things that I wouldn't expect from a Western animated film in terms of how it approach very complex themes of death, things that you don't want to tell your kids about, memories and dreams and even nightmares as well too. It just went boldly and bravely into it. It didn't butt itself down. It didn't soften things down, even right down to like the last 10-15 minutes, like I say, which might creep out little kids and stuff. But other than that, though, it just went in straight. It told its story. It told it well enough. Yes, it's not a perfect movie, but it doesn't need to be for me personally to love it. And I absolutely love this show. I put this right now in my top 5 best of for the year. Right now, I could say it's like a number 2. So number 1 is still OJ Made in America. So I don't know if anything might come and beat that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
not sure. I put this pretty high as well. It is in the top 5, not in the upper crossed up the top 5, so it's like around a number 4 right now still. It had a bunch of other things I really enjoyed more than this.
Yeah, and I know I haven't seen all of Leica's work, but this definitely makes me want to go back and see Paranormal.
I was always a supporter of Leica, but as I said, with my mixed opinion about and what a person who runs, the fellow who's in charge of Leica, what he represents and the kind of, but again, my attitude is that if you have privilege, use it properly. Yeah. And he's an example of a person in privilege using it properly. Yeah. So I can't be mad.
Okay.
I can't be mad. All right.
But for me, just to round things up, this is arguably one of the best animated films I've ever seen. Damn good. Period. I give this a very strong 4.5 out of 5 stars. Yes. Definitely see this as soon as you can. Go with your friends, go with your family, get a big bag of popcorn, and walk with a box of tissues because you're gonna be tearing.
No, but I hear in statements like, "Was this generation's Iron Giant and stuff like that?" And it's like, "Whoa, that's a big call."
I wouldn't say that.
That's a big call. But no, but I could totally see kids today be like, "Yeah." Because I tell myself, if I was younger, I'd have probably really enjoyed this movie. Blown away by this movie. But
I think if it came out a little earlier during the summer vacation, this would have been like the summer movie. Right. But of course, you had to, time and Suicide Squad and all that shit. But and just in closing, this above everything is like an inspiration to animators out there. Right. Both up and coming and veterans out there. Just seeing the care and the precision and the time and the effort and the love that these creators put into this movie is just nothing short of amazing and inspirational. Right. I mean, I am not a big animator. I grew up on animation, watching animated films and all that. But this shit, wow. So yeah, if you are animation buff, definitely check this out as well. If you love movies, if you love to be emotionally swept away by movies, if it is like, and this is another thing I love too, and I'll just end here, just seeing something different, unique, even a little bizarre at times, but just something so different and special, just being in this world for roughly an hour and 40 minutes, because I just watched through every single thing and I was just like, I didn't even want to leave. It was that good. So definitely definitely my second right now in terms of my top 10. I don't know if it'll be the number 1. I'm kind of hoping that something else comes up before the year done to kind of knock that out. But definitely my top 5 for sure. So guys, don't stick. Go and check it out. Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much about it. So Ricardo, where can we find you online, man?
You could find me Ampersat RMEDDY on Twitter. That is at RMEDDY at RMEDDY on Twitter. And then you can type in Ricardo Medina on Facebook. That's the easy way to get me. And I will respond to all calls and responses and statements.
Alright, well, you can find me on Twitter as Legally Black MJB. MJB. I was trying to mock you a little bit. In capital letters. You'll find the link to this podcast there. And also, if you go on Facebook, you will see Legally Black blog official fan base. That's where I put up all the links to all the podcasts and written reviews I've done before. And also, if you want to touch base with me, you could just look for my name, Matthew Bailey, on Facebook as well too. If you go right now, you'll see both my cover photo and profile pic Kubo related stuff, because I just love that show. Like the moment I came back home after I saw it,
Loved it.
Like I have this album, this photo album on Facebook, best movies. I kind of got inspired by Roger Ebert. He has his great movies category, so he lists all his great movies. And normally I don't like to put shows that I saw once, but this is like the second time it happened this year because I saw OJ Made in America, and after watching that whole 5-episode miniseries, I put that there.
Right.
And same thing I did with Kubo.
Yeah, hard.
I like about an hour or so after I saw Kubo, I just put it there. I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, I love this show. I really do. I really have to go and see it again. So, like I said before, guys, go and check it out. And if you have, please let me know what you thought about that. Along with Don't Breed, check that out as well too. Go with your friends. And The Night Of, another high quality film miniseries from HBO. It's only 8 episodes, so you're not gonna get any season 2. But
in my head, I don't know if you'll get season 2 at all.
No, it's a miniseries. It starts and ends.
A standalone thing. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need that.
I thought it was gonna be akin to True Detective.
Well, I thought he was
gonna get
see
something
that,
like
honestly.
that. Yeah, but okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And what else we talked about? Imperium. If you have seen Imperium, or if it's there online,
solid
on Netflix or whatever streaming, check it out.
Take it out. Yeah.
And that's pretty much about it.
All right.
So anything to look what should we look forward to with this month? I know this month is going to be a little iffy. Why? I'll just mention this one time. Yeah. In the next 3 weeks, we are going to have the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. Right. This year it's going to run for 1 week, so it starts on Tuesday the 20th, and I believe it ends either on Monday. It's either the 27th, which is either Monday or Tuesday. I think it's a Tuesday.
Right.
So we have a week to catch up on shows. But before that, we as in Trinidad and Tobago are finally going to get the official theatrical premiere of Basudi. Right. It's a film that premiered on last year's film, the last year TNT Film Festival. It starred Marshall. That was like the highlight of it, although he is like the supporting character, if you will.
I saw the trailer. He looked like the main character from the trailer.
Okay, I could be wrong. But,
this movie tracking... It's tracking a really balanced score. So it only has, from what I understand, the last time I checked Metacritic, it has 2 scores. A score that has it at 70. I was like, whoa, that's pretty high. And then a score that has it at 30.
How many people reviewed that on Metacritic? Oh, wow.
So it's one person at 70, the other person at 30. So I'm not sure how much of it is a cultural thing, if it's a Trinidad. But the thing is...
Or diaspora kind of thing.
Not sure. Right, so it's unclear. In my head, I was like, a movie like this, especially starring Marshall Mondano, I was expecting a 30, frankly.
No, but it had to be something in it apart from Marshall to make it work, right? That's what I want to investigate.
It's well made, at least by Trinidadian standards. It's reasonably well made.
Yeah, but that's a given. I just think about story and characters.
It looking real cliche from the trailer. I think nothing looking particularly interesting about it. It's looking like a normal love story.
But I just hope to be be entertained by it. I hope not to be disappointed by it. So you can look out for a review of that when it comes out after the 14th.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Marshall. I am not the biggest fan of Marshall Mondano. I wouldn't outright say what I should say.
Neither am I, but I respect his work ethic.
We could get
the music. The music. The fact that he keeps pushing out music. He keeps entertaining his audience.
I won't say on the show, but he's a person that. Anyway, I'm gonna say.
We could talk about that if you get around.
You'll hear it over a beer. You won't really hear it on the show itself.
The thing is, continue.
Yeah, and the thing is a particular paradigm of filmmaking that we might end up seeing, which is this. Yeah, I'll be worried about it. It's kind of a bit of a bubble.
Yes.
And he might be the guide. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
we could compare that with our music and stuff, but
we'll see the movie as is and then work from there.
All right, and before that, we are getting this horror thriller, I believe it is sci-fi horror thriller, Morgan.
Right,
I don't know much about it.
Did it come out in Trinidad?
No, it's coming out this week. Okay. Next week. Sorry.
Okay.
And I saw the trailer for it. The trailer looks okay. I saw Kate Mara.
I heard it was real bullshit.
But
and I saw it had
one selling point I saw it in an article yesterday is that this is I think it's the second trailer. Either the second or the first trailer is the first ever to be edited by artificial intelligence.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
I will talk about that, but that's also the BS. Well, is that kind of working kind of sense of BS? Because yes,
so it's the greatest horror thriller ever.
Right.
Because it's designed that way.
That's the thing.
I don't care.
I get the feeling that most artificial intelligence that work on like really subjective kind of things, like say trailer design. There's a lot of training wheels and hand holding that goes on. So it's apparently it was IBM's Watson that did it.
Oh, really? Okay.
And remember, IBM Watson was the thing that did this really good job at creaming the 2 best players at Jeopardy. But when you get into the backstory about that game in Jeopardy, you realize it had a lot of hand-holding and training wheels going on in terms of getting the computer to do the right thing. And that's kind of the problem. In one sense, that's a good thing because we do it with humans as well. Young humans, children, make an innumerable amount of mistakes about the world, or at least in terms of what we think is true about the world. And
it's part of growing up there.
Exactly. So you have to kind of do the same thing with the machine. The machine won't be bright from the start. But the problem is that it's still hand-holding.
Yeah.
So it's not fully independent. So it's the same thing with
it's still the scientists or the designers, whatever.
I get a feeling it's the same thing.
Asking them to do something is how they want to see it.
And then, and a lot of people do. You've seen a lot of that with this. Manipulating after the fact kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like recently somebody put out this thing. They gave the computer a bunch of information about Bin Laden, and then it used that data and crunched it and then accurately found where Bin Laden would have been before he died. So all the information before he died, they gave it to him, and then he accurately predicted where his location would have been within 200 meters.
All right.
Sorry, within 200 miles.
Oh, okay.
Right? And everybody was saying, okay, the experiment seemed to be sound. But then you realize, no, you get the feeling that the scientists probably like do the finagling after the fact. It's like it probably gets shit dead wrong. So people assume I get the feeling that let's hide the broken results of the AI.
I understand.
So, like in some cases, they probably say, well, Bin Laden was actually in Hawaii or something dead wrong. And it's like, no, he actually in Pakistan. And the computer will say, oh, this the program we will do badly, and this is you come after the fact.
Right.
Here's the thing: we kind of do that with children as well, right? Children have vastly, massively incorrect opinions about the world, and then sometimes they might hit you with some piece of insight, and then at the same time it's like, no, the child just dead wrong about this. That's why children not in the UN and debating high-level things, and we have to correct them all the time. So I don't know, whatever.
Right.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that when
and I'll probably compare it to Ex Machina or films like that.
Yeah.
You know, they're into the whole Frankenstein monster, and you know you could always apply Frankenstein's monster to any modern science fiction.
But I honestly don't think this is going to be anywhere as excellent as Ex Machina by far. No. And
that's why that at all. But
I was kind of speculating
let's talk about the working trend of a lot of transhumanism in film right now, and why that's so big and why that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, and for better for worse results, I'll say for the most part worse results. I think really only Ex Machina in recent memory did a really good job of pulling off these ideas.
Right.
But everything else was just kind of bullshit. That transcendence. That was rubbish.
Oh, transcendence.
That was rubbish.
Boring.
Yeah, that was rubbish.
Interesting idea, but it just fell off the track so quick.
They just missed the point completely, Jared.
Anyway, but
however.
Yeah, Morgan is coming out. Right. Ridley Scott actually is involved.
Ridley Scott's son.
Son. Yeah, I was wondering if it was his son.
Directed it, I think. So, alright, cool.
What? Yeah, cool. Man. Keep on keeping on. Yes, and there's also Pete's Dragon that's coming out.
Right. I may go see that. I'm not sure.
I would like to. I don't know what to expect with it. I heard
it's alright.
And just one final thing.
I'll just go for Robert Redford.
Yeah, one final thing. It's something that I've been trying to do personally, and I really wanted to do it in written form, but because of life and time and just me not being able to have enough of it, I want to do something a little special with the next podcast. You see, next couple of weeks, or at least next week or so, a Legally Black blog, the actual blog which I created, is going to be 5 years old. So I want to try something a little different. Are you familiar with a book called The Film That Changed My Life?
No.
Okay.
I've never read it.
All right. It's a book where this guy who obviously wrote the book interviewed a number of directors, asking them what was the particular movie that changed your life. So they talked to John Landis,
right?
Talked to Eli Roth,
right?
Peter Bogdanovich, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Even right down to Edgar Wright,
right? Okay.
And just the answers that they brought up were really interesting. They talked about the first time they saw it, how they got obsessed with it, and those kind of things.
And White Latch.
So for me, there's one particular movie that I could say is probably the greatest movie ever made. I know a lot of people disagree with it, but this was the one that literally told me, this is what movies are, this is what movies could be, this is what you need to get yourself into. In my case, me having not actually directed a feature film yet, although I do see myself doing that hopefully in the next 5-10 years or so, just hoping, knocking on wood. This is the movie that I always go back to, and it kind of just tells me, if you really 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 love this if you really love movies, Red, then whether you become a director or actor or even a film critic, this is the one that you look up to more than anybody than any other show. So I just kind of want to do something like that. So yeah, you could just be the one to ask me.
Which movie it is?
But you want to know now?
Yeah. So there's a tease with.
Alright, fine. It is A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, word. Well, that is a good
Stanley
choice.
Kubrick, 1971. Greatest fucking movie ever.
Yes, hardness.
I love.
But
just how I got into that show was like.
Matthew, I'm glad you tell me because what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch over F. That's
F for fake.
No, not F for fake. F. That F is the name. What's the movie with Malcolm McDowell's first feature length?
If.
Sorry. Whoa.
I need to watch
If, right.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch over If because he was picked because of that. For Clockwork Orange. And then I'm going to watch over Clockwork Orange and we're going to review Clockwork Orange.
I love that. Yes. But this, and we just rounds up here too. Well, I mean, I don't want to leave you out of it. I don't want this to be just me because I mean, you are part of BSV and Bailey just as much as I am. But
talk about it.
Do you have a favorite movie, like a particular one that you put above? Don't be afraid. Just say what it is.
Okay.
Or you have to kind of go back and think about it.
No, here's the thing. You know, the thing is, you have a shifting faction of what it. You know, you generally have objective standards of why you like films.
Right.
But then you have a shifting metric of how to like films, and you know that is normal art versus objective standards and blah blah blah. For me, it has to be Alejandro Jodorowsky's The Holy Mount. It has to be that. If it's anything I could pick. Now,
okay. You get two thumbs up. Well done.
It's not that it have movies that appeal to me in a mainstream sense. So if you're saying that The Matrix, stuff like that, or The Terminator, good. But it's just something about that movie, Dread. I remember seeing it when I was, how old I was the first time, like 22 or something like that. About 10 years ago. So
I kind of think you saw that way younger.
No, I didn't see it young. I didn't see it young or anything like that. I see it when I was at a time when, you know, things were formulating in your brain and, you know, your brain now started to end up, from what I understand, your brain has seemed to formulate or max out around 25 or so.
Uh-huh.
And it's around that time, when your brain was just at the right time to just finally hammer out some great ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, that was the movie. It's just how that movie does work, how its narrative, everything. When you want to go postmodern and explain everything and meta-narrative and textual this and that movie was for that. And Jodorowsky is a person that is one controversial damn figure. He'll split a room, Dread, when it comes to bringing up him and how important he is as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
He'll totally split a room. He's a person I have an immense amount of respect for. Like,
yeah.
I totally understand where his detractors come from.
Yeah. Although, like, I mean, I love his movies as well too. El Topo and Santa Sangria are my favorites.
I like El Topo as well.
Holy Mountain.
It's something about Holy Mountain.
Yeah, Holy Mountain. I saw it once and I was just like, WTF.
Yeah.
But I was still on board. But it's one of those shows I have to watch over again.
You start seeing a workable pattern in it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about it.
And then, of course, we, imagery from start to end. But anyway.
In fact, I'll just watch over Holy Mountain and go.
Because like I say, so we'll do the whole film thing. So I will ask you questions about what you thought or how you got into Holy Mountain,
right? Why
you love it so much, and you'll do the same with me with this show, Clockwork Orange.
Sure.
But yeah, we'll recap both shows, and we could kind of jump in and say yes, this is true,
right?
Blah 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 blah.
If it holds up, yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's pretty much about it. So guys, you know what to look forward to with our next episode. So once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This was Matthew Bailey and
yes, it is Ricardo Medina.
All right, and we're signing off, guys. Take care. Peace.